So I'm Harry. I am co-founder and CEO of Zego. So as a little bit of background about myself, I'm not from the insurance industry. I've come at it from the consumer side. So over the last 10 years, I've been working in the on-demand space. And most recently, been working for on-demand delivery platforms such as Deliveroo. And while I was there, I started to see very clearly the impact that insurance was having on the gig economy space. We were looking at the ways in which we were trying to onboard as many drivers as we could. And what we were finding was that insurance was actually acting as a blocker. By virtue of the fact that these people were trying to become commercial users, they were moving from personal lines to commercial lines because they were starting to engage in commercial activity. They were needing to buy commercial insurance policies. The problem was that these were only available on an annual basis, very expensive, and what this meant that people were either not taking jobs, they were either purchasing the insurance policies and then cancelling very quickly straight afterwards, or they were working more than they actually wanted to, going against the promise that the gig economy really holds. So faced with this problem, we really boiled down what the gig economy is, and effectively it's a marketplace. It's a movement of data between people who request jobs and people who can deliver them. And so our hypothesis was that if we could actually harness the information that moved between the individual worker and the platform for whom they're doing the job, and we could harness that little piece of data, then we could use that as the inception point of an insurance policy. So we could say that we know exactly when someone's working and exactly what they're doing while they're working. And by doing so, we can make sure that everybody who is working in the gig economy has the exact type of insurance that they require for the exact minute that they require it. And therefore, they're not burdened with steep annual insurance policies. Their insurance policies are proportional to the risk that they're actually undertaking. So with that idea, we don't come from Dan's world. We went from that idea to actually launching a product in 3.5 months, not quite 90 days, but we were pretty close. So that was with very little background. We built a tech platform, we built a CRM, we got an underwriter in place. We work with a number of insurers now, but we had one to start with, and really focused on an area that we knew, a very small niche product, creating food delivery capability for the scooter drivers that you see moving around London at the moment. And then we've really been growing since then in every sense. So we started with a team of 2, 18 months ago, 20 months ago. We're now a team of 46 here in London, predominantly based in tech. We've got a 24/7 support team and also the rest of the core functions. Some people who are here this evening, so do go and grab them afterwards if you want some more information. But really what we're trying to do is create policies that are proportional to the risk. So what we're not trying to do is just say, well, we're going to reduce customers' insurance premiums. We're actually going to increase them, but we're going to make them proportional to the actual time that they're on risk. Now, to do that, there are some fundamental challenges in the fact that there aren't that many systems that allow you to write a policy for 1 minute whilst complying with all the regulations that we all have to write an annual policy. So we had to build that from scratch. So we went from this product just for scooters into different cars, and now we're moving into different forms of taxis and all sorts, so that we can create true flexibility and really enhance the support and infrastructure around the gig economy. So at the moment we're focused on UK. We'll be launching in mainland Europe in the coming months. And the key for us is that this is usage-based insurance, but whilst I'm the biggest advocate of usage-based insurance, I don't believe that it works if you rely on a customer telling you when they need it. So we integrate with all the big digital delivery platforms so that the action of someone logging in to another digital delivery platform or saying, I am now available for work, or indeed I am now starting working, it's that action that starts our insurance policies. So there's no dual lapping. It's all completely integrated into the system that they work. And therefore insurance becomes actually embedded in the life they lead. And it means that we can reduce insurance premiums further so that when they're earning, they're paying. If they don't decide they want to work, then they don't pay for their insurance. I think that's about everything I have, but I would be very open to speak to insurers who are interested in this space. I mean, it's enormous. So depending on whose articles you read at the moment, there are about 162 million people that classify themselves as independent. So one article I saw said that in 2030, only 9% of people in the US will say that they are a 9-to-5 worker. So this space where people are taking a choice to move away from being supported by the traditional infrastructure of a PAYE employee is massively growing. And I think it's down to us with regards insurance and all the support networks to become much more flexible as this changing workforce is. And we're going to continue to try and get into this space, starting with motor, but moving into general support policies around that.
So hi Harry, it's Dominic from Polar. Just a quick question. You obviously went to market very, very quickly because of your knowledge in that space, but how easy was it to get a grips and understand the insurance side and the pricing and underwriting process that needed to be implemented with what you knew about the on-demand space?
So we really took it from the consumer side. So we were always concerned with how low we could get our underwriters to make the product cost so that we can actually sell more of it. But we really take a very collaborative approach with all the insurers that we work with. We are not trying to say that we are the best people out there for pricing risk. You know, that is what the insurance industry is very, very good at doing. But what we want to do is work with insurers who are interested in the different risk categories and risk groups that we want to work in, and then say, well, how can we make this more applicable to customers, be it on a very fractional basis, or again, we know so much about that customer, we create profiles about individual customers, and then we give them the menu of options that are available to them, all managed through their mobile phone.
Hi, Harry. Matt from Aviva here. Hello. Over here. What you've done in a really short space of time is fantastic. Do you think that there's any risk that as you continue to grow, the pace at which you're going to move will be inevitably slowed? Or do you see yourself as having the infrastructure in place to grow as quickly as you'd like?
Matt was in the office this week, so he's obviously been thinking about that one for a few days. I think that one of the challenges we have as a business is that we're actually competing for really good tech talent with the likes of Facebook and Google. I think that we have worked really, really hard over the last couple of years to create a fantastic culture within the business and strive to get the best tech talent that we possibly can get within the business. And I think the advantage for that is that we have always thought about scale. So our tech platform from day one was able to write in multiple currencies, time zones, languages. And I think we've got a long way to go before we have to slow down. I think our biggest challenge today is finding the right insurance capacity to work with us and to be able to deliver our ambition. What we tend to find is that people, when they come to join us, they put rather a large number of restrictions on what we can do until we've proven where we can actually get to. Effectively, we'll give you a very, very small product. We'll allow you to increase it when you've sold X amount of premium. But ultimately, what we really want to find are insurance providers who are willing to take a bit of a risk. We think we're pretty good. We think we know how to price risk or work with insurers to price interesting risks. But we do want to work with innovative insurance companies to drive this forward.
I just wanted to know what types, hey, there you go. What types of, what are the segments you're focused on right now?
Today, we're really focused on motor. We know it is, it's a really tricky space. We like the fact that it is traditionally very poor performing. We like the fact that it is very highly regulated, traditionally relatively underserved within the gig space. But it really highlights the power of the technology that we're using. Because what we really do is we bring a transparency to what has traditionally been a very dark area. In the gig space, you might insure someone, but you don't know whether they're working for 2 days, 2 weeks, whatever it might be. We understand on a by-minute basis how often someone's working because we see the data movement between themselves and their digital platform. And so we think if we can get this one right, depends on which school of 0 to 1 books you read, but if you can get it right in a really, really small niche, we know that we can move it into the gig economy as a whole. But motor today, but we do have plans to move into other forms of GMPL.
Paul Turner from Total B. How difficult did you find it to get your first insurer on board, and what compromises do you have to make?
It wasn't easy. And there have been insurers, many of whom in this room actually, the companies we've worked with to try and get this off the ground. And I think we were just a little bit early. I came to my first, dare I say it, my first and the last one I came to was 2 years ago. And we tried with one insurer to work on a new product. We worked with them for 4 months. I remember very clearly speaking in front of a team of 25 people from compliance, and we realized that this wasn't the right carrier for us. It takes time, but I really think that if people have got to buy into the vision of what you're trying to do. You know, we're trying to create products that are really, really consumer-led as opposed to product-focused. So we're getting there now. We've got a number of insurers that we're working with, both in the UK and in Europe, but always looking for more. So if anyone's interested, do come and grab myself or one of the team here.